Alright, so the reason I'm making this video is because recently I switched over from Stan's tire sealant to Silca tire sealant. And I got the Silca Ultimate Tubeless Sealant. And what it says is it says foaming natural latex formula, environmentally safe, contains no ammonia. What really got me on it was that on their advertising it says it's supposed to last 180 days. I don't like doing tubeless sealant kind of swaps, so that was a good selling point for me. I put it in, rode one time on the sealant, and my front tire flatted. Thought no big deal. Flats happen. I thought I must have had a little cut in my tire. Came back, found out that there was not a cut in my tire, that it was actually my rim tape had failed. And it had actually lost pressure going through the rim rather than through the tire. When that had happened, I was on a 40-mile bike ride. I was going about 22 miles an hour. So somewhat concerning, but I was on a flat, so had time to pull over and stop safely. I thought kind of no big deal that, that happens. Riding a second time, basically 3 rides after the first flat, same thing happened. And what's happening is there are these little holes developing in the rim tape, and this is where it's kind of blowing through and it's cut. So there's some type of failure in the rim tape. I thought that was kind of odd. What I think is happening is this Silca Ultimate Sealant has little particles of, from my understanding, recycled carbon fiber. And what I think is happening is when you're riding on this sealant with a rim tape that is not designed to withstand that type of abrasion, is that it's actually over time wearing through and slicing through the rim tape, causing failure from the inside. What was really interesting is when I was riding Stan's and I pulled the tire out, this rim tape, basically I couldn't tell it from when I got it on the day that I bought the bike. It looked brand new. After pulling out the rim tape after the Silca, using the Silca sealant, it's quite apparent that the sealant is eating away into the rim tape. So there's a black printed decal DT Swiss on top, and then it's kind of I think the actual color of the rim tape underneath is kind of this orangey color. And what you can see is it's being eaten through, and it's being eaten through on the side that is, so on this side you can see through it, but it's actually this side that's being kind of chewed up. So this was the side that the sealant had, the Silca sealant was touching. I thought this was fairly strange, so I Googled around, I looked on some bike forums, and it appears that this might be a known issue, that the Silca sealant needs a specific type of kind of heavy-duty rim tape so that the particles inside the sealant don't chew through the rim tape and cause a failure like I had twice. The part that bothers me and I find concerning is that this isn't well advertised when I purchased these Silca sealant. So on the marketing claims, you can see the things that they're marketing are that it lasts a long time, 120, 180 days, and then it's natural and environmentally safe. I don't see anywhere on here saying that you should use special rim tape with it. And the problem is I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's up and down hills constantly. And for example, my last bike ride, I got going 36 miles an hour down a hill. If the tire would have failed then, that would have been incredibly dangerous. So I really don't think Silca should be selling this sealant without some very clear disclaimer on this. when you do look at the disclaimer, so there's a warning label on it. It just talks about exposure to chemicals, cancer, birth defects. It doesn't say anything about using a special rim tape. And so I think that is something that they should clearly print on the bottle, at least. When you go online on Google to find this sealant, there's nothing saying you need special rim tape with it. So I think it's fairly difficult for the ultimate consumer to understand they need to be a little bit extra careful with this. I rode for 2 years with stands, never had any type of issue like this. I have chosen to, so I just put new rim tape, new tire sealant on. I'm going to try Joe's, see if Joe's works out. I'm not really sure why I keep switching away from stands other than I just like to try new stuff. But haven't seen anybody online have an issue with Joe's. I'm going to give that a shot. I'm using their Road Leader sealant. It is designed specifically for, somewhat high pressure road bike tires. I usually sit somewhere around 65 psi when I bike. As I said earlier, use the DT Swiss. These are 62, I think. Aero rims with GP Grand Prix 5000 STR, which is a tubeless ready tire, have served me really well. Just somewhat concerned about the Silca sealant and want others to know about the issue so that you don't get hurt.